Hi, Jolene. Hey, yeah. Oh, I'm just out grocery shopping and stuff, getting stuff for the house, getting school clothes for the kids and all that. Yep. No, I know. I'm not in the studio. I'm not. All right, we'll see you. Bye. I won't be late. Bye. What up, guys? This is my wife. Just told her I was out shopping and stuff. Hey, this lesson is about, it's part 2 of something that I started, and I've had several subscribers with lots of questions I didn't think would come my way when I started doing this. I thought it would just be strictly lessons and kind of mechanical and this and that, and things started getting more personal and people want to know what makes you tick and this and that. So this is part 2 to what inspired me to play guitar, and I'm going to lump in some other questions that subscribers have asked. I'm just going to turn it into one thing, and I missed several points in my first one, okay? And I think I titled it what inspired me to play guitar, something along those lines, but it says part 1 on it because I went back in and put part 1, and a lot of you guys had some cool things to say, and I got to hear some of your history and where a lot of us are alike and stuff, and which is cool. I like that. I want to know what's going on with you guys and what you're into and what your inspirations are as well. So I wrote some stuff down because I don't want to forget. I'd say 1977. I was a little dude, little guy. I remember, you know, I had a Kiss lunch pail and the Kiss shirt and the Kiss cards, and I just was the Kiss fanatic. And this is what I left out in the first one, and it bummed me out. I was like, how can I overlook that? I think I was just tired, man. But I'm going to hit everything here. Some of it may have been talked about in the other one. So I didn't have a lot of musicians in my family. My aunt did play guitar and my other aunt played piano. I remember my sister tinkered with the piano, my mom a little bit, but not just, you know, not this huge passion, you know, like I just had this huge passion. It's all I thought about even before I played. I just loved music. The Beatles, you know, as well. Huge fan. Even the Monkees, I remember hearing them. I remember I was probably 10 years old, maybe 11, and my older brother, he was quite a bit older than me, like 9 years older. I didn't know, we had like an acoustic guitar in the house and didn't have an electric yet. You know, a lot of people have them for decoration. Like pianos, you see people stacking, you know, it's just a piece to stare at, like a furniture item. Not over here, man. All the instruments we got get used, although the piano in the house is kind of like furniture, but everyone's always tinkering with it. It's all out of tune. It's been moved like 4 times. But I remember, anyways, my brother, I remember him telling me that he was messing with me, obviously, because I know he didn't believe this, because at the time he had to be, I don't know, 18 if I was 9. No, I think I was like maybe 11, so he was close to, he was 20. Telling me that if you touch the frets on the guitar, we were talking about Kiss and how the smoke comes out of it, and he told me that Ace Frehley played so fast that it made smoke come out of the guitar. You know, I don't think he believed that. I never asked him. But he also said if you touch the frets, you would get electrocuted. He totally had to be messing with me, right? So what do? I get an electric and I start playing. And once I realized I wasn't going to get electrocuted by touching the frets, I was like, how? Man, if I touch a fret and get electrocuted, you think most people just run from it. Not me. I was so happy that that wasn't the case, though. If we got electrocuted when we touched the frets, we would all be dead. Every one of us players. So anyways, that's kind of funny. That's something that always stuck in my head. I remember around 1980 hearing Eruption on the radio. I wasn't playing guitar yet, and I wish I could remember the radio station. They had KMET, because I'm a California kid. We had KMET 94.7 and KLOS and KCAL and all that. I don't remember what station. There was like a 99.9, not pirate radio, it was something else. But you know, it wasn't uncommon to hear Eruption, which is a guitar solo from Eddie Van Halen played on the radio. You don't hear that anymore, man. Hearing that guitar solo rocked my world, man. It totally fired me up. Who is this guy? His tone, the way he played, his entertaining. Van Halen just shook the world and changed music for the 80s. And anyone that knows anything about rock and metal from that era will agree with me on it. I don't think anyone would disagree. And I imagine cats that are older than me, you know, will say the same of Jimi Hendrix, you know. And the Beatles changed music as well, pioneers in doing it. So Kiss, the Beatles, Van Halen would be the top three that just blew my mind. But as a guitar player and starting to play and having Van Halen pretty fresh on the scene, Eruption just did it for me. I couldn't believe the way that Eddie Van Halen played. Just innovative is the best word I could say. Style, class, character, everything. Tricky, all of that stuff. He used to face his amps in the early days because he did so many tricks like that. You know, all those little things, man. He would face the amp so people couldn't see what he was doing, and then once it got out, other people started doing it, man. George Lynch and DeMartini and a lot of players that were quality good players, man, were all over it. So anyways, next point, because I don't want to miss anything. Sorry, I have to read it, guys. I don't want to finish this and go, what? Why did I leave that out? 1981, around, me and my cousin Charlie, we started, our music dreams were kind of together. I wound up playing guitar, and he was a singer. Good singer, too, although he would argue with me on that. Very good singer. I remember being at his house because he lived next door to me. And we put a fence in between our house and stuff, and I'd go to his house, and we'd lay in his room, turn the lights off, and play the Beatles and the Monkees, and we would close our eyes, me and him. I think Tim Sage, my cousin, would do this as well, I'm pretty sure. You'll have to tell me, Tim, I don't know if you remember. But we'd lay on Tim remembers the throw the sock in the mouth game, though. We remember that one, buddy. But I also remember you, Tim, rubbing snot, and your sister Tina's going to get mad at me for telling you this. But you said, watch this, Mike. And he blew his nose on his sister's pillow, and it was a big, nasty loogie, man, that came out. And he, Tim, you're crazy, dude. And he blew his nose on the pillow and then put the pillow down, and I never heard the outcome of that one. Maybe we talked about it, I don't remember, but his sister at some point flipped that pillow over. And whether it was dry, crusty, or still wet, I don't know. Maybe you can tell me, Tim. But Tina's going to be pissed if she sees this. But that cracked me up. But anyways, Tim, my cousin, man, we started some music dreams together too. And the early days, we could barely play anything. We were just doing like Living After Midnight and Rock You Like a Hurricane and Let's Get Crazy from Quiet Riot. We were called the Violation Band. Before I go there, I was going to say, we used to sit on the bed and close our eyes and play music, have music playing from the Beatles or the Monkees or whoever, and picture us on stage and what we were doing, and just being so excited of our dreams, what we would do. And I was like, I'm Paul McCartney, and I forget who Charlie said he would be, John Lennon or something, but we would imagine ourselves on stage playing in front of all these people. Just funny childhood stuff I remember. We started our basically our first band called the Violation Band, which was my cousin Tim, my cousin Charlie. Tim played guitar, and we had a guy named Les on drums. Not Mick Mars' son, Les. Les came shortly after that. But we started our dreams young, man. And bands on the scene at that time, it was Van Halen, Quiet Riot, Rat, Dokken, Malmsteen, Def Leppard, Scorpions, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden. All those bands were our influences. My infatuation with Van Halen, I talked about that. Me ordering my lessons, it was Joel Matoza. What's up, buddy? You cleared this up for me. It was Doug Mark's metal method that I learned from, and he still teaches today. You can look him up online. I owe a lot of thanks to him, man, because I didn't get to go to a music store for lessons. I got them through the mail. So look him up, Doug Mark's metal method. Helped me a lot in my playing with subgrouping and practicing things slowly, and I learned Randy Rhoads style licks, actually not style, but his actual licks to Mr. Crowley and all that stuff. Scorpions, I had Jimi Hendrix, and more. And I also ended up getting Star licks, which is what I confused this with before. And they're still around. I don't know if they're still around, but that was video lessons on VHS. The other ones were cassette tapes through Doug Marks. But Starlux was cool too, because you had the visual with the audio, and you could see what they were doing, and they would also slow those riffs down. So 1982-83 was the Violation Band, and I mentioned our influences and all that. and some other things, kind of shifting gears a little bit. Some people that I've worked with, you know, some of them really short-lived, but I want to mention them. It's Mick Mars from Motley Crue. I remember this band I was in called Antioch. At the time we played at a place in Hollywood called the Oasis. And Mick Mars, Motley had just released the Girls, Girls, Girls album. I think this was 88, right around there, or maybe in 87. And Mick Mars came out because his son is Les Deal. He was our bass player. One of my best friends in the world, man. I love Les. I talked to him today, by the way, and he's going to be doing some Motley lessons on here. We just got to get him a camera. We got to find a way to get him to get access to a camera so we can do this. And some of you subscribers that are requesting Motley songs, I'm going to send some of them to Les to do, but it's kind of on hold until we can get him set up. But Mick had come out, man, and I thought, how cool is that? You know, he came out to support his son Les, obviously, but also our band. And it wasn't a real big club in Hollywood. There's quite a few homeless people around. I got pictures of it, I'll show you guys someday. But he comes in with his Motley Crue Girls, Girls, Girls jacket. And I thought he would have came incognito, but he pretty much got swarmed, man. He did get to watch our band. I have it on video, actually, and, you know, shots of Mick being there. Cool show. We felt like rock stars, you know. And then after the show, Mick took us out. Well, I don't know where Mick went, but he had his limo driver take our whole band, driving through Hollywood in this limousine, and treated us like rock stars. Thank you, Mick. So cool of you, dude. You gave us some great memories, man. To take your time out of Motley Crue to come and watch our band, Antioch. How cool. Craig Goldie was Ronnie James Dio's guitar player. He came in after Vivian Campbell. I remember being a big Vivian Campbell fan. And then they had this thing called Hearing Aid. You know, it was a relief type thing. You know, you had what was the Live Aid. You know, they didn't really have many metal bands there, but they had another one that was for like the softer bands, and you know, Michael Jackson, I think it was called, I don't know, they were for famine relief, and I can't remember what that one was called. But anyways, Hearing Aid was a project that it was backed by Ronnie Dio and Vivian Campbell. They did one song, they brought in all the heavy metal guitar players and singers that they handpicked, and they all sang on one song. Really cool. I actually have the DVD of it, and that's right around the time I heard Craig Goldie. I was listening to him right before then. He was in a band called Jafria, and I think he was in Rough Cut for a short time. And I met Craig Goldie through this church I was going to, probably around '96, and we became good friends. I haven't talked to him for a while. I talked to him about 10 months ago, but he didn't have time to talk. He called us home. He's busy. I get it, but we had started a project too. Didn't really get too far in it. He was doing some solo CDs and some stuff with Jeff Pilson from Dawkins, and we were starting it was going to be an instrumental. And Craig, if you ever come across this and see it, some of the songs we had started, I don't have any copies. I would love to get a copy of it. We had some cool stuff going, man. So Craig Goldie, one of the nicest guys. He's so humble and a great player. Mick, right around 1998, Mick Mars from Motley Crue. I may be off by a year or so on some of these, but Les had called me. Les is Mick's son, and said Mick wanted to get into producing. Motley Crue was kind of, you know, I think Tommy Lee started doing his solo thing, blah blah blah, all this stuff, and he wanted to get into producing someone and find a really good guitar player and just handpick these players and shape us and produce us and cut an album and see where it went from there. So I've been to, you know, Mick's house. I went out with his son Les. Took my buddy Doc with me, and it was out in Malibu. And you know, he showed me his tons of guitars that he had downstairs. It was unbelievable. It was like walking into a guitar center in Hollywood. Crazy. And me and Mick were jamming a little bit. I remember him asking me what the name of this chord was. One he uses in Dr. Feelgood. And at the time, you know, I was already teaching guitar, but I didn't know the theory part of it. I was like, oh, it's like an E7 type. I'm not sure exactly. We both knew it had a weird name, E7 sharp 9. But we just called it the Hendrix chord. So we were jamming some of that, talking about ideas. That kind of, you know, Vince Neil ended up coming back to to Motley Crue, to make a long story short, and they just took off again. So it's kudos for Mick. That's it for me. It all worked out though. You know, I'm a family man as well, so I mean, God's in control of everything the way I see it. So from there, I've been teaching guitar since I think '91. Started young, and it's been a fun journey. And now I'm doing this thing on YouTube, which is very cool. I'm still teaching my private students as well. And I've taught out of Famous Stars and Straps, which is Travis Barker, the drummer from Blink-182. He had a shop. This is right around 2000. He had just joined Blink-182, and I remember we did a big old jumbo guitar lesson out of his shop there. He said he was getting bored on the road. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. How do you get bored on the road? But I guess it happens, man. You're on a tour bus a lot and stuff. I remember showing him Enter Sandman from Metallica. Travis is a big Metallica fan. Taught out of Famous Stars and Straps for a while, maybe a little under a year, and been teaching in several music stores, and that's where I'm at to this day. My last project I did was with Brian Duncan, who was huge in the R&B, pop / rock Christian industry, especially in the 90s. But we had started a band with him and my buddy Juan Nelson, who is the bass player for Ben Harper and the Innocent Criminals. And Juan is a monster bass player, amazing. And good friends with him and his family, and his son Jeremy, who's the master beatboxer. I miss you, Jeremy. And we live in the same city, dude. I need to get a hold of you. I guess that's it, man. I feel like I was a lot more informative in this one than I was in my first one. And I covered a lot of bases with you guys. Backing up, I would just have to say some big influences were those three that I mentioned, because it was right before I played guitar. I maybe had a guitar in the house, wasn't really serious about it, but it was the Beatles, Kiss, Ace Frehley. I was just a huge Ace fan, I still am. And I'm forgetting, there was another one, guys, Van Halen were the three. I could make videos that go on for hours talking about the bands I like. It's insane, you know. I love R&B and funk a lot. There's really nothing I don't like. I like hip-hop, I like Eminem. I've always liked Eminem stuff. Dream Theater, Steve Vai, Vinnie Moore, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Linkin Park, Seven Dust, Killswitch Engage. I can go on, but I'm not going to. If you look at the lessons I have, there it is. There's all that stuff right there. Brothers Johnson, Parliament Funk, Bootsy Collins, man. So anyways, I'm going to stop there. I really think I covered everything, guys. If you have any more questions, I'm going to give it some time, though. I've really got to start working on my website. That's something I wanted to say. Very important. Because I've got a lot of requests still to do. But I'm spending a lot of time on the YouTube lessons. I've got to get my butt in gear for the website. I've got people that want to join now. And I don't have much content, guys. And so I need to get going on that and get structured. I'm still going to be taking requests. Just be patient if you're not getting them as quick as you want, okay? Because outside of my private lessons, I'm doing the YouTube thing, and I got to get my website ready. I have to, man. I really got to get on it. It's designed and everything, and it has a lot of the wording, but it doesn't have the lessons in it. So many on YouTube, though, man. I'm approaching 600. Check out Jolene's vocal lessons. I've got drum lessons, bass lessons, guitar lessons, and keyboard lessons coming. So my gross rockinguitarlessons.com is my soon coming website, sometime in 2012. Hope you become a premium member there. It's very affordable, $20 a month. And then youtube.com/rockinguitarlessons1. Subscribe, comment, like, and ask questions. I hope you guys got something out of this, at least a little more understanding and history about me. One of these days I will show you around my studio here, my Beatles collection, and maybe some pictures of the Mick Mars days and Craig Goldie and all that. But for now, I'm signing off. We'll see you guys later.